A couple of weeks ago, I led a presentation on young Black kids studying computer science. And I'm going to take on this quick 30-second journey and why it's really important. Today's conversation is always at the forefront of what we do, because when ICT had changed to computer science, there was over 50% dropout of Black African and Caribbean students out of computer science. And then when we looked at university, very small of them actually went on to university courses and got degrees to get into the industry. And then when they got into the industry, they were 60% more unlikely to be unemployed. And then compared to like a white student who was like 8%. And then when we looked into society in terms of how much of those, Black and African British born are on tech companies or sit on their boards, it was 0%. And then the algorithm that was adopted from an organization actually stopped and searched a 40-year-old Black kid from Southeast London. They took his DNA and fingerprint because probably the data sets or the algorithm that you were using was biased. And it shows that if we're not challenging these systems at all fronts, from education into higher education, into industry, there will be baked biases that will one day exclude or harm the people that we're trying to serve. And I think that what Jen was saying around how do we keep companies to account? How do we make sure that the policies that we put into place is, one, it's helping EdTech to be transparent, it's helping to build trust between schools and families and local communities, but also advocating for real change that we want to see. EdTech has the opportunity to be the #1 thing that we export from the UK, but it needs to make sure that the policies and practices that we've put into place are clear for all to understand. And then what Joe was saying around, do we understand the holistic child? Do we understand the child who goes home and doesn't have the access to technology, or has the table, or has special needs? How are we listening as educators and EdTech companies to really support that? And then with the minister talking about, there is lots of opportunities that exist, but it's about the access. It's about how do we make sure that access is clearer for communities. It's also welcoming for them to engage with, but also that we are championing the things that as me being an educator still in the classroom, that one day that the young person sitting in my classroom has the same opportunity to whether grow a digital business or to get a job in tech. And I think that these kind of conversations is seed planters. It's not just the end today, it's what we do now. How do we influence the communities and young people that we're trying to serve?